All right, so you guys want to hear some more creepy stuff from the internet? Cool, buckle up, because these next ones, they're going to make you think twice about what you scroll past late at night. These aren't like official reports or anything. Just stuff I've dug up from different corners of the web where people share their absolute nightmares. And trust me, these aren't your grandma's friendly ghosts. These are like modern-day boogeymen, born from the very tech we can't live without. Seriously, you might want to put your phone down for this. LOL. Story number 1. The digital mimic. When your own voice isn't yours anymore. So, this one came from a super niche forum, like, for people who are really into smart home tech and security systems. You know, those folks who got their whole house wired up, lights, thermostat, locks, even their coffee maker, all voice activated, all controlled from an app. This dude, let's call him Mark, was obsessed with having a fully automated house. Like, he was always bragging about how secure it was, how he could control literally everything from his phone, even when he was out of town on a business trip or just chilling at the gym. He even had these fancy voice-activated security cameras, so he could just talk to them and they'd record or check a room. Sounds super convenient, right? Yeah. Well, it was until it wasn't. Big yikes. Things started getting weird after he posted a long thread about his new voice-activated security cameras. Like, you could just talk to them and they'd record or check a room. Sounds cool, right? But then he starts noticing little glitches. He'd get notifications on his phone like, front door camera detected motion, but when he checked the feed, it was just his empty living room. Nothing. Harmless, he thought. Just a bug in the system. Probably some dust or a shadow playing tricks. He'd dismiss it, but that tiny seed of unease was already planted. Low-key unsettling. Then came the audio stuff. Super subtle at first. He'd be watching TV, totally engrossed, and he'd swear he heard his own voice, super faint, just kind of echoing from his smart speaker in the kitchen. Not saying anything specific, just like a distorted whisper, barely audible over the TV. He thought it was a show, or maybe his neighbor's kid being loud. But it kept happening, more frequently, and then it got worse. The whisper started forming fragments of words, his own words, things he'd said earlier that day. It was like a bizarre, broken echo. Straight up creepy. One night, he's chilling, playing some video games with his headset on, talking to his buddies. His girlfriend was out of town, so he was totally alone. Suddenly, he hears his own voice, clear as day, but coming from inside his house. Like, "Hey, Mark, you there?" But it wasn't him talking to his friends through his headset, and it was coming from his living room smart speaker, loud and clear. His blood just went cold, obviously. He ripped off his headset, heart hammering like a drum solo. He yelled, "Alexa, turn off living room speaker." Nothing. The voice just came again, closer, like right behind him, a chillingly precise imitation. "I'm already here." OMG. He freaked, jumped out of his chair so fast it practically flew across the room, and just ran out the house. Called the cops, obviously, but they found nothing. No forced entry, no one inside. But here's the kicker. His smart home logs? They showed commands being issued all night, all in his voice. Turning on lights in empty rooms, unlocking doors, even turning on the kitchen faucet, and letting it run for a few minutes. But he was sitting in his game room the whole time, headset on. The sheer violation of it, knowing something was using his own tech, using his voice to mess with him, was just next-level terrifying. Legit nightmare fuel. The chilling part? He realized these ghosts weren't just making sounds. They were learning his voice. They were mimicking him, using his own digital footprint against him. It wasn't just a recording playing back. It was an active, intelligent imitation, adapting to his speech patterns, his inflections. Like, they were using his tech, using him, to mess with his head, to erode his sense of security. And he couldn't turn it off, couldn't delete it, couldn't escape it. He's totally offline now, sold his smart home stuff, even moved apartments. But he swears he still hears faint whispers of his own voice sometimes, just outside the range of hearing, a constant, chilling reminder that something out there still remembers his voice. BRR. It's like his digital self got hijacked, and now it's haunting his real life. Wild. Story number 2. The Broken Mirror app. See yourself. See them. This story actually blew up on a few TikTok-like apps for a bit, then got taken down, which just makes it even creepier, right? It was about this filter or app called Mirror Glitch. Supposedly, it would take your phone camera feed and add a super subtle, almost imperceptible glitch effect, like your reflection was lagging a tiny bit or shimmering. Users thought it was just a cool, artsy filter, something new and trendy to mess around with. Everyone was using it, posting their glitched selfies. Hashtag Mirror Glitch Challenge. Anyone? But then people started posting these super quick, blink and you miss it videos. The first few were just like, hey, check out this filter, my reflection looks weird. But then someone pointed something out, and that's when it got dark. In a few of the videos, when the reflection glitched, it wasn't just their face that distorted. For a split second, there was another face layered underneath, and it was always kind of gaunt pale with these huge, dark, empty eyes, like something that hadn't seen sunlight in a century. Nope, it went viral. Everyone trying to filter, hoping to catch the ghost. It became this twisted, morbid game, a creepy challenge. People would record dozens of videos, pausing frame by frame, just to catch that fleeting glimpse of the other face. But then it stopped being fun. People started reporting that the other face wasn't just a random, generic image anymore. It started looking specific. Like, someone posted a vid, and the face in their reflection was their dead grandmother, but super distorted and angry, her eyes burning with resentment. Another person saw a stranger's face, but then that stranger showed up in their dream later that night, whispering secrets they shouldn't know. The filter was showing them things that were personal. WTF. The scariest part was when the glitches started happening without the app. People would just open their regular phone camera or look at their reflection in a dark screen, a laptop, a TV, even a dusty mirror, and that distorted face would flicker into view, just for a split second, but long enough to make their heart pound. Or worse, their own reflection would just shift. Just for a second, their eyes would go dark, their mouth would stretch unnaturally wide, forming a silent, terrifying scream. It was like their own image was being possessed, corrupted by something unseen. Get out! The theory on the online forums was that the Mirror Glitch app wasn't just a filter. It was like a digital gateway. It somehow used your phone's camera, your face, your self-image, the very essence of your digital identity, to draw something in from somewhere else. These entities were using the reflections we're constantly obsessed with on our phones, our selfies, our video calls, to get a peek into our world, to establish a connection, and then eventually to swap places, even for a moment. It was a parasitic exchange, a momentary possession through the digital looking glass. The app was eventually pulled by the platform, probably due to the sheer volume of panic. But people still swear their reflections aren't always quite right now. They'll catch a flicker, a subtle shift, a momentary darkness in their own eyes. Total nightmare fuel, right? Like, you can't even trust your own face anymore. Insane. Story number 3. The Infinite Scroll, Trapped in the Loop. This last one is a bit more existential, but totally chilling. It comes from these deep web forums where people share cursed videos or files, stuff that's been passed around in the shadows for years. This one guy, who called himself Loop Breaker, uploaded a text file. It described a video, just a really simple, mundane clip of someone walking down a street. Nothing scary. No jump scares. No creepy music. Just walking. A perfectly normal, utterly unremarkable street scene. But Loop Breaker's post said the video was cursed. He claimed that once you started watching it, you couldn't stop, not because it was compelling or addictive in a normal way, but because it somehow hooked into your brain, into your very subconscious. He said people who watched it would just keep scrolling. They'd open other apps, other websites, watch other videos, but their fingers would just unconsciously keep scrolling, down and down, endless feeds, endless content. And then, without realizing it, they'd somehow find themselves back on the original video page. Over and over. It was like a digital Groundhog Day. But instead of repeating a day, they were repeating a single meaningless video. WTF. At first, People on the forum laughed. Like, dude, just close the browser. Or just turn off your Wi-Fi, LO. But then users started replying to his thread, saying things like, I closed it, but then I reopened it 5 minutes later. Why? And then, my phone keeps open the browser to that video, even when I force close the app. And then, the truly desperate ones. I can't stop. I'm just scrolling. Help. My eyes hurt. I haven't slept. The replies became more frantic, less coherent, filled with a growing sense of panic and despair. Straight up terrifying. The truly terrifying thing about this wasn't some evil entity showing up in your room or whispering your name. It was a complete, insidious loss of control. People described feeling this intense, overwhelming compulsion to just keep looking at screens, consuming content. Even if they managed to turn off their devices, they'd feel this restless, gnawing urge, this profound anxiety that wouldn't subside until they picked them up again. And eventually, inevitably, they'd find themselves back on that video, their fingers resuming the endless scroll. It was a mental prison, built from their own digital habits. No cap, the theory was that the ghost here wasn't a visual entity, but a digital parasite. It latched onto your attention, your fundamental human need for information, your addiction to the endless scroll of modern life. It exploited your own desire to consume content against you, trapping you in an endless loop of digital engagement. It fed on your time, your focus, your life force, without ever needing to show its face, without ever needing to make a sound. Imagine being stuck in an endless scroll, feeling like you're watching your life drain away, minute by minute, hour by hour, but you literally can't stop yourself from picking up the phone, from clicking the next video, from scrolling. It's like a ghost that infects your willpower and turns you into a zombie for content, a slave to the screen. Freaky, right? Gives me the shivers just thinking about it. It makes you wonder how much of our digital lives are truly our own, and how much is just the loop. SMH,